My beloved child, do not rush past this moment. Be still with me. Let the noise of your thoughts take one step back. Let the hurried scroll pause. Let the heaviness release its grip on your chest for a breath. What you are about to hear in these next minutes may become a hinge on which your financial life turns. You think this is just another talk, another word to add to a stack of words, but I tell you, this is a key, and if you will hold it, it will fit into a lock that has kept you circling the same hallway of almost and not yet. Do not let this moment slip away. I see the weight you carry, and I do not despise you for it. I see the bills lined like silent judges, the overdraft notice that stung your confidence, the late fees adding insult to injury, the phone calls you avoid because you do not want to explain again. I see the sigh you release when you check the balance and it mocks your effort, the calculations you run in your head before sleep that turn into dread when the math won't stretch. I see the shame at the checkout line when your card is declined and the burning in your cheeks as if eyes are arrows. I see the brave smile you wear in daylight and the quiet apology you whisper to yourself at night. I should have done better. Maybe I am the problem. I see how you have prayed and then wondered if I am listening, how you have worked and then wondered if favor has forgotten your name. Hear me, the pressure is real, but it is not proof of abandonment. You are not invisible to me. You are not an orphan in my house. Delay is not the evidence of my rejection. It is not a scarlet letter on your chest. It is the space in which I reshape your wings before you fly. You thought the cold numbers told the whole story. They are a report from one realm, not the verdict from my throne. What your statement shows is not the sum of what I am doing. Your finances aren't cursed. They've been contested. There is an invisible battlefield around your provision, a tug you have felt but could not name, a resistance that tried to persuade you that lack is your identity. I tell you this not to frighten you, but to awaken you. I am not trying to bury you deeper in fear. I am pulling you up into clarity where intimidation loses its voice. Lean in, listen carefully. The lie that has chased you says, if it were truly God, it would have been easy. If he truly loved you, it would have come by now. But I speak another sentence over you. I have loved you with an everlasting love. I am not late. I am meticulous. I am not angry. I am aligning. When what belongs to you is contested, it does not mean the portion does not exist. It means a claim has been raised against it, a noise of accusation around your name and capacity. We will speak to that noise. We will quiet that chorus. You will not live the rest of your days bowing to numbers as if they were kings. Open your hands for a moment. Unclench the jaw of your soul. Breathe in and breathe out. You have been running on adrenaline and worry, but you will not cross this sea by rowing harder in panic. You will cross as I teach you to see differently, speak differently, act differently. What we do together in these next minutes will build a road under your feet. I am not promising magic without wisdom. I am promising presence, clarity, and the unveiling of the story behind the story, the part that turns pressure into process and process into peace. I know how many times you have promised, I will budget better, and still felt like water slipped through your hands. How many times you have tried to save, then watched an emergency devour your effort. How many times you felt excitement at a new opportunity, only to watch it stall in confusion. You began to wonder if there was a mark upon you that says, not enough, unqualified, unlucky. My child, those labels do not come from me. Your name is not deficit. Your name is not disappointment. Do not agree with what shames you. Do not partner with sentences I did not write. Stay with me to the end of this message. Do not disengage when conviction and hope begin to rise in the same breath. Let me sit with you within the stack of papers on your desk. Let me stand beside you where you keep your passwords and reminders and anxieties. Today we will unplug a lie and reconnect you to a truth. You are not outside my care. You are not disqualified from my provision. You are not forgotten by favor. The struggle you feel is a conflict, not a conclusion. If you will agree with me in small ways, those small ways will open wider doors. Place your hands open in your lap as a sign of trust. Whisper these words right now, even before understanding floods you fully. I am not abandoned. I am being aligned. Let that sentence be the first crack in a wall that has felt immovable. And when I prompt you later, be ready to write one declaration, one line that will become a stake in the ground for your mind. If you need to, grab a pen or open your notes and resolve to remain present. Go ahead and decide within yourself. I will listen to the end, and I will act. I am here to steady your heart. I am here to name the pressure without shaming you, to lift your eyes without denying your pain. You have asked me for a sign that I am near. This word is that sign. I am close enough to hear your unspoken calculations, close enough to feel the tremble in your faith, close enough to replace the heat of embarrassment with the warmth of dignity. The numbers on a screen are not the measure of your worth, and this moment is not another loop of false hope. It is an invitation out of accusation into alignment. You will learn why the answer you needed did not arrive the way you expected. You will learn how to stand when resistance breathes on your neck. You will learn that your name carries weight when it aligns with mine. Now take another breath. Peace to your mind. Order to your house. Courage to your heart. I am not finished with you. I am just getting started. Stay with me. Keep your hands open and prepare to speak when I say speak. We are turning a page together, and the story behind the numbers is about to be revealed. Now hear me as I draw you to a scripture I preserved for moments like this, a lens to see the unseen corridor between your prayer and your provision. Fear not, Daniel, the messenger said, for from the first day that you set your heart to understand and humbled yourself before your God, your words were heard, and I have come because of your words. Daniel 10:12. From the first day, not after the 20th attempt, not once he had proven himself beyond question. From the first day he turned his heart toward me, heaven registered his voice, the answer was commissioned, movement began. But listen to what came immediately after that assurance, child. There was contestation in the unseen realm, resistance that blocked the messenger 21 days, a prince of Persia entangling what heaven had already released, until help was sent and the way was cleared. Daniel 10:13. I show you this not to frighten you, but to awaken you. In that story, the delay did not mean the answer did not exist. The delay was the space between decree and delivery, the contested corridor where a promise in motion was met by opposition. The issue was not my unwillingness. It was a battle over transit. You must let this dismantle the lie that delay equals denial. You must let this truth breathe peace into the place where suspicion has lived. When you look at your balance sheet, your inbox, your mailbox, your calendar, and see no change, you are tempted to conclude, perhaps heaven is silent, perhaps I have been rejected. Yet I tell you plainly, answered in heaven does not always manifest on your timeline, because earth sometimes receives slowly what I have sent quickly. There is a stretch of air, a span of miles, a spiritual distance between the signature of my decree and the paper on your desk, between the words spoken in the courts of heaven and the ring of your phone. Do not mistake that distance for indifference. Do not confuse transit with cancellation. Apply this to what is crushing your chest right now, the check that has your name on it, the job that aligns with your gifts, the contract that matches the work of your hands, the debt relief that brings breathing room, the open door that ends the long hallway. These are not always no. Often they are on the way, Sometimes they are already signed in my realm, while still moving through contested systems in yours. Accounts wait for approvals, files sit on the corner of a desk, emails linger in drafts, proposals are praised but not yet countersigned, and behind the visible slowness is a very real resistance to your rising. This is why I say to you again, with tenderness and authority, delay is not a verdict. Waiting is not proof that I withheld. What you are experiencing may be a distance problem, not a denial problem. You ask, then what am I to do while the corridor is contested? Watch Daniel. He set his heart. He postured himself in humility. He continued steadfastly. He did not cave to fatalism. He did not say, if it has not arrived yet, it must not be for me. He positioned his mouth and his mind in agreement with what he had already asked. Your steadfastness is not a performance to win my favor. It is the posture that keeps your inner gates open so you can recognize delivery when it reaches your door. For we do not wrestle merely with bills and bosses and broken systems, but against rulers, against authorities, against the powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms. Ephesians 6:12. I am not calling you to paranoia. I am calling you to sobriety. My arm is not too short to save, nor my ear too dull to hear. Isaiah 59:1. But do not let the quiet of transit convince you that nothing is moving. Hear me speak over your particular scenario. The reimbursement stuck in processing, the grant application sitting under review, the buyer who loves your product but hasn't wired the funds, the recruiter who said soon and then fell silent, the lender who promised to call back, the family member who said they would repay and forgot. Do not surrender to the story that you are cursed, that I have turned my face away. I have already authored goodness with your name on it. I have already dispatched help, and I have already numbered the days of this delay. When the appointed time comes, the way will clear. But even before that appointed moment, I fortify you so you do not bleed out your confidence in the hallway. Now, as an act of agreement, whisper this with me, answered from day one, contested in transit, delivered in due time. Let your own voice interrupt the inner narrative of doom. Go ahead, write it in your notes or even in the comments where you are. Not denial, but distance. Not rejected, but refined. Let your fingers make a decree that your mind can read again when the inbox feels empty. Faith that is never expressed is like a seed never sown. Plant this sentence and water it with gratitude. I want you to notice something else in Daniel's story that mirrors your reality. Help was sent. There was reinforcement. You are not left to wrestle the corridor alone. I have appointed angels concerning you. I have stirred allies you have not met. I have placed your file in front of the right eyes. And I am even now breathing upon systems that once said not possible, so they begin to rearrange. You may not yet see the motion, but the report from my realm is movement. The resistance you feel is a sign of value, not vacancy. The enemy does not contest what does not threaten his claims. I tell you this so you can interpret opposition correctly. It is not the end of the story. It is the evidence that a story is unfolding. But I will not lie to you, the battleground for this corridor often shifts from the air around you to the name within you. Accusations will try to attach to your identity while you wait. Labels will try to define you by the last bill past due. We will deal with those labels. We will confront the names that do not come from me. For now, take heart in this. If Daniel's answer was resisted and yet arrived, if his words were heard from the first day, then your prayers concerning provision have not been tossed aside. Your portion has not evaporated. Your life is not a testimony of closed doors, but of doors that swing open at the right time and stay open because you learned to stand in the hallway, without surrendering your name. Breathe again. Peace to your mind, order to your house, courage to your heart. You are not behind my schedule. You are inside my process. What you called delay, I am using as alignment. What felt like an empty silence is the echoing corridor between my decree and your delivery. Hold your place, keep your mouth in agreement, and prepare your hands to receive. We are about to identify the real points of contention, and when we speak to them, the distance will shorten and the delivery will quicken. No more bowing to numbers as kings. Lift your eyes. The messenger is on the way. My child, now let me pull back the veil with kindness and clarity. Your money is not just math. You are walking through an invisible battlefield. Spreadsheets and statements report one layer, but beyond the numbers there is a contest over meaning, permission, timing, and the name you carry. I tell you this not to frighten you, but to awaken you, not to breed suspicion, but to restore hope and precision. For you do not wrestle with flesh and blood. Your fight is not your boss, not your spouse, not your parents, not even your former self, but against rulers, against authorities, against the powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms. Ephesians 6:12. Hear me. I am not licensing you to blame. I am inviting you to aim. Precision in a battle matters. If you swing at faces, you will wound your own house. If you address the unseen argument, you will quiet storms you could never tame with more hours and more panic. Look at the pattern I am uncovering and recognize the fingerprints of contestation. When you near a breakthrough, something unrelated explodes. A car repair the very week a bonus is promised. A medical bill the very day you finally tuck something into savings. A last-minute cancellation after months of preparation. When favor finds you, confusion follows. Emails that never arrived, a file misplaced, an account on hold, a wire processing far longer than policy can justify. When you build momentum, you feel leaks, small daily drains that seem harmless but devour the month. Fees, fees, fees. Subscriptions you forgot, an impulse that breaks your agreement with yourself. When an open door appears, a narrative whispers, "You're not ready, you're not worthy, you will mess this up." And your own hand hesitates on the knob. These are not always random. Often they are symptoms that your provision is being argued with in a realm where accusation tries to dress itself as inevitability. I will speak plainly. There is a courtroom in the unseen where words matter, where records are reviewed, where ownership claims are made over territories of influence and over the names of my children. Accusations present evidence, late payments paraded as identity, past mistakes treated as prophecy, moments of foolishness recited as a verdict. Files are marked permanently behind, unreliable, in debt, as if those labels define your future rather than describe a past season. In that place, an adversary loves technicalities, twisting memory into a chain. But I have also established my covenant over you, declared paid and redeemed over what the accuser would bind. Do not tremble at the image of a courtroom. Rejoice that there is a judge who is for you, an advocate who speaks better things, a record sealed with blood, not ink. This is why it matters which story your mouth repeats. This is why I am training your voice to agree with me. Understand this. The fiercest blows in this fight rarely land on your wallet first. They land on your identity and your authority. If I can teach you this, you will stop confusing shame for strategy. The enemy prefers you to call yourself by the wrong name so that without shackles on your wrists, you lock the door from the inside. When you internalize, "I am bad with money, I am always behind, I am unlucky, I break everything I touch," your own heart becomes a gate that closes at the very moment I am bringing a delivery to your address. Your beliefs do not create my goodness, but they can reject my gifts. Your agreement is a key. When you wear the right name, doors recognize you. When you repeat the wrong name, even open doors feel foreign. This is why I have been so tender yet insistent about your inner labels. Your name, the identity you carry within, is either a welcome sign or a warning sign. If you accept the marks that do not come from me, if you answer to untrustworthy, wasteful, beggar, always late, then even wisdom feels like punishment and opportunity feels like a trap. But when you align with what I call you, faithful, steward, builder, generous, wise, you begin to see money not as a verdict on your worth, but as a tool within your assignment. Identity precedes authority, and authority precedes abundance that can be sustained. I am building within you a posture that says, I am trusted to handle more, and therefore more can land in my hands without slipping through. So let me map the battlefield with even more clarity. When something spills at the exact moment you consider tithing or giving, when tension spikes with a spouse the night before a financial decision, when your body floods with anxiety the moment you sit down to create a budget, when an old friend calls with a deal that would unravel your focus right after I gave you clear direction, recognize the pattern. It is not simply bad timing, it is targeted noise meant to drain courage, cloud the mind, and coax you back under the old label. I tell you again not to make you paranoid about every inconvenience, but to sharpen your discernment so you stop making treaties with a voice that hates your rising. And hear this liberating word. The contest is not proof that you are cursed. The contest is evidence that you carry weight. The enemy does not contest what does not threaten his claims. The pressure around your finances is not a sentence against you. It is a sign that the territory you are meant to occupy carries influence beyond you, provision that will bless others, fund good work, stabilize a household, rewrite a family story. This is why the battle shifts from numbers to name. If he can sap the courage of the one who signs the checks, if he can convince the one who makes decisions that they are chronically inadequate, then he need not attack the bank account. He has already bound the steward. Therefore, practice this. Refuse to fight people. Bless those through whose hands your provision flows. Pray for the boss instead of cursing him. Speak honor over the spouse you feel tension with. Forgive the parent who did not model stewardship. Release the younger you who made unwise choices. Then turn your voice toward the real argument and answer it. Say what I say. Present my decree into the contested air around you. Do not weaponize shame against yourself. Weaponize truth against accusation. Right now, as a sign that you understand the terrain, let your mouth draft a new record. Whisper with me, I do not wrestle with flesh and blood. My name is not behind. I am aligned. I am entrusted. I am provided for. Go ahead and write it somewhere visible. Let your fingers write down a declaration that will greet you when the next almost shows up. I close the leaks, I break with the labels, I stand in authority, and my provision arrives. If this is reaching you, mark it, like this moment as a sign of agreement, and share it with one other soul who has been calling themselves by a name I did not give. Peace, child. Feel the steadiness settling over you as understanding replaces panic. You are not at the mercy of numbers. You are under the command of a name stronger than accusation. We will deal with the labels that tried to stick. We will strip the marks that do not come from me. You will learn to walk with your head lifted, not in arrogance, but in rightful identity. And the doors that once hesitated will begin to recognize you. Keep listening. The war over your name is the next front we will win. My child, now we come to the front line I told you we would face. The war over your name. Lean close. The contest has twisted itself into sentences you repeat when no one is near, verdicts you stamped on yourself like a brand. Untrustworthy, bad with money, always in debt, behind, never enough. These are not mere thoughts. They have functioned like keys that do not fit, like passwords that lock you out. Each time you whisper them, they do not simply describe a moment. They decree an atmosphere. They train your nervous system to brace for loss. They prepare your hands to drop what I intend you to hold. I do not say this to condemn you. I say it to open the cell whose door has been unlocked all along. Hear me with tenderness. I see how you have tried to smile while carrying the weight. I see how you have cheered others when they received what you longed for, and then cried alone in a kitchen with a light left on, telling yourself, maybe I just don't have the gift. I am not blind to the hours you have worked, the meals you have skipped, the prayers you have whispered under your breath at red lights and bathroom mirrors. I see the effort. I also see the war, and I call you out of the cruel names that have pretended to be just being realistic. Realism that refuses my word is not wisdom. It is agreement with an accusation. Understand the difference between hostile naming and divine naming. The accuser points at your worst day and calls it your nature, irresponsible, cursed, forgotten, wasteful, unreliable. He hisses from the shadows, turning a bill into a biography, turning a learning curve into a lifetime sentence. But I, the one who formed you, call you something else, beloved, entrusted, wise, chosen, faithful. I am not ignorant of your missteps. I am invested in your becoming. When I name you, I do not pretend you never fell. I declare the power by which you rise. When I say trusted, I am not flattering you. I am authorizing you. When I say wise, I am not exaggerating. I am planting the seed of choices that match your new name. Let me unmask shame, because it has been operating like an embezzler in your soul. Shame does not correct. It corrodes. Shame makes you hide bills in drawers and avoid emails you could answer in 2 minutes. Shame spikes your heart rate when you sit down to budget. So you postpone again and pay a late fee that steals your tomorrow to soothe your today. Shame whispers, you already messed up. Buy the thing. What difference does it make now? And impulsive spending becomes anesthesia for a wound it never heals. Shame tells you to make a decision fast, to end the panic. So you say yes to predatory terms. You overpromise, you underprice. You grasp at the first option because fear is screaming and patience feels like drowning. This is how shame sabotages stewardship. It inflames urgency, multiplies avoidance, and then points to the fallout as proof you are the problem. I break this loop now. There is therefore now no condemnation for those who are in Christ Jesus. Romans 8:1. Condemnation is not my tool. Clarity is. Correction is not a slap. It is a hand on your shoulder, steering you to safety. Identity is a gate. If you accept the wrong name, you will live under the wrong outcome. Doors read names. Systems respond to identity. When you wear always behind, opportunities rate it like a badge and find a reason to wait. When you answer to untrustworthy, even you do not trust your plan long enough to see it work. But when your mouth agrees with what I call you, there is a quiet shift. The same budget you kept breaking begins to feel like dignity instead of punishment. The same boundary you could not hold begins to feel like freedom rather than deprivation. The same conversation with a creditor becomes possible because your name is no longer ashamed, but honest and strong. So here is how we turn this tide. We reject, we replace, we rehearse. Reject the false label. Do not negotiate with it. Tell it no access. Say out loud, I break agreement with the name behind. I refuse the label bad with money. Those marks do not come from my Father. Replace it immediately with my word. Speak, I am beloved, I am entrusted, I am wise, I am faithful with little and prepared for more. Then rehearse it until your nervous system stops treating abundance like danger. Rehearsal is not denial, it is re-education. You have rehearsed disaster for years. Your body believes it. Now rehearse my name over you until hope no longer feels like a scam. Listen carefully. Your history does not disqualify you. It trains you. I do not disqualify repentant stewards. I recommission them. Think of Peter. Denial did not end destiny when he returned. It deepened his humility and multiplied his care. Think of the prodigal. Squandered inheritance did not cancel sonship. The ring returned to his finger, and authority came with it. To all who did receive him, who believed in his name, he gave the right to become children of God. John 1:12. Children carry a name, and names carry access. I am lifting your head like a shield around you, the lifter of your head. Psalm 3:3. And I am saying what I said to Zion. You shall be called by a new name that the mouth of the Lord will give. Isaiah 62:2. Wear it. I know there are memories rising even now. Voices of a parent's despair, a teacher's sarcasm, a partner's insult. We will address residue that runs in the family line soon, but first, we secure personal alignment. You cannot evict a generational lie while still renting its space in your own mouth. Begin with your agreement. Let me hear your voice in the house I have been rebuilding in your heart. As a sign that you are stepping out of the old verdict, do this with me now. Whisper, even if your throat tightens, my name is not never enough. My name is beloved. My name is entrusted. My name is wise. I receive the mind of Christ for stewardship. I am faithful. I am a builder. Go ahead and write it where your eyes will stumble over it in the morning. I do not wear shame. I wear a new name. If this word is stirring you, mark the moment like this now as a sign, and let your fingers write down a declaration right where you are, because faith that is never expressed is like a seed never sown. Let us put this in the ground of your life. Now, hear my decree over you, steady and sure. You are not cursed. You are not forgotten. You are not disqualified. I call you by a name that fits the future I am sending. Steward, faithful, diligent, generous, wise, trustworthy. I am not flattering you. I am forming you. With that name I open doors long hesitant. I restore dignity to your planning. I quiet the tremor that has lived in your chest. And as you walk in this identity, you will notice that what once felt like punishment, boundaries, budgets, patience, becomes worship, alignment, agreement with a future you are now equipped to carry. Breathe. Peace to your mind, order to your house, courage to your heart. This is the shift you have needed before the numbers can reflect what I have prepared. Identity first, then increase that you can keep. Wear your new name and watch the atmosphere around your decisions change. I am with you. We are not finished. We are finally aligned. Now we will turn to the circles that kept repeating in your family line, and we will end what claimed you for too long. But for today, fasten this upon your soul. If you accept the wrong name, you will live under the wrong outcome. I have renamed you. Live under what I have spoken. My child, now we step into the deep room where patterns hide, the place where what kept returning was not random. Breathe with me. I will hold you steady. You have worked hard. You have tried new budgets. You have read books and promised yourself, this time I'll keep it. And still the same waves return. A month of relief followed by an unexpected drain, a raise that somehow disappears into thin air, a tense argument every time bills are due, a fear that tightens your chest whenever money grows beyond what you're used to. This is not simply your clumsiness or poor luck. You are walking through tracks worn by many feet before you. I tell you this not to frighten you, but to awaken you to the mercy I am extending, revelation that gives you an exit. Look at your family story with gentleness. Was scarcity normalized like weather? Did you hear, "We never get ahead," spoken like a proverb? Was debt treated like a rite of passage? not a season to exit. Did paydays end in conflict, generosity turned into guilt, and planning mocked as being uptight? Have you noticed that even the diligent in your line seem to labor without landing, that windfalls slipped through fingers, that money arriving sparked anxiety instead of gratitude? These are not random quirks. Often they are the residue of agreements made in pain, words cemented into a kind of family covenant without knowing, invisible locks tied to a surname that trained each generation to expect a ceiling. I speak to you in the language of the courtroom because that is how the unseen often functions. Voices from generations past forming boundaries with sentences like fences. People like us don't have that. It never lasts. If you have money, someone will take it. Rich means dirty. We are survivors, not planners. We don't talk about money. Easy come, easy go. Men in this family drink the check away. Women in this house fix the mess, but never touch the plan. These are vows, verdicts, edicts in a record you did not write, but learned to read. And with each repetition, the file thickened. Not because I wrote it so, but because agreement empowered it. Yet hear me announce the greater record over you. Christ has redeemed you from the curse of the law, becoming a curse for you. Galatians 3:13. Meaning those locks can be broken, meaning the residue can be washed, meaning what was normalized can be renounced without dishonoring the people you love. I am not asking you to blame those who came before. Many of them survived storms you do not know. I am inviting you to end what wounded them and tried to claim you. Honor their endurance. Break with their despair. Love the people. Reject the pronouncements that do not come from me. I tell you plainly, my beloved, you are a cycle breaker. I am rescuing an entire family line through your obedience. Do not undervalue your struggle. It is a gateway for many. When you set a boundary your grandfather never saw, you are writing an amendment to the family record. When you forgive a debt rather than weaponize it, you are cutting a rope that keeps every argument tethered to 1978. When you tithe with gladness instead of fear, you disarm a whisper that says, if you give, you'll go hungry. When you plan in peace, you contradict the siren of chaos that has funded impulse and starved wisdom. Your act may look small, calling the bill instead of hiding it, opening a separate account for savings, pricing your work honestly, learning to say not now with dignity, but in the courts of heaven. These are signatures on new terms. Let me show you the mechanics so you can cooperate fully. A cycle persists by 3 chords: belief, language, and practice. Belief says, this is just who we are. Language repeats it until it hardens. Practice then enacts it in 1,000 small ways. Buying without plan, avoiding the envelope, despising counsel, mocking the prudent, seeking adrenaline when peace feels too still. You will cut all 3 in my presence. First, belief. Say with me, I do not belong to scarcity, I belong to covenant. Second, language. Stop lending your mouth to a verdict I did not write. Do not prophesy bankruptcy over your own house in jokes and sighs. Third, practice. Obedience that looks ordinary is warfare. Budgets close gates thieves love to use. A 24-hour pause before big purchases drains urgency of its poison. An automatic transfer into savings is a monthly no to the devourer. Generosity on purpose disarms the fear that money is your savior. Stewardship is not a mood, it is a liturgy that retrains your life. I know there is pain here. Memories flare. An eviction you watched as a child, a paycheck taken by addiction, an inheritance consumed by probate and fighting, a promise broken. I am not minimizing this. I am healing it. Bring the names into my light and release them from your grip. Forgive what you can name and bless what tried to bless you, but did not know how. When you forgive, you don't erase consequences. You release spiritual claims so that the same spirit of lack no longer has legal permission to haunt your address. If the Son sets you free, you will be free indeed. John 8:36. Freedom indeed means a new normal, not just a good Sunday. Now, as a sign of your agreement with me and your break with old agreements, let your mouth write a new clause into the family file. Whisper it. In this house we plan with peace. In this line we are faithful and wise. In this name money serves mission, and lack does not lord over us. Go ahead and write it where your children or your future self can read it. We are the generation that ends the famine. If this word strikes your spirit, mark it. Like this moment as a sign, and let your fingers write down a declaration right now, because faith that is never expressed is like a seed never sown. Plant this seed for those who come behind you. Hear my promise and hold it like a lamp. Because this battle has been at the level of the bloodline, the breakthrough will be generational. What begins as order in your wallet will become order in your household. What starts as a paid bill on time will become a story of debt finally leaving the family vocabulary. Where there has been a pattern of almost, there will be a pattern of completion. Signed contracts, honest wages paid and received, businesses that do not burn out their builders, children who grow up with peace around a kitchen table when bills are spread out, no whisper of doom, only wisdom and worship. I have prepared a portion of blessing bearing your name for a very long time. And as your identity aligns and your obedience anchors, I will release at an appointed time, and systems that ignored your line will begin to make room. Do not be discouraged if the first pushback comes quickly. The old arguments will try to refile. You will recognize them now and answer them differently. You will not panic. You will not agree. You will not wear the old badge. You will say, not denial, but distance, not cursed, but covered, not behind, but becoming. And your steady yes will become a door for many. I am with you in this deep diagnosis, not to expose you to shame, but to expose shame's tactics to you. You are not random. Your resistance has meaning. Your obedience has generational weight. Peace to your mind, order to your house, courage to your heart. We are cutting the old cords, and I am knitting you into a new pattern. Capacity before increase, roots before branches, covenant before overflow. The appointed time approaches, child. Prepare your hands, align your name, and watch as what resisted your family for decades yields to my decree through your agreement. Now is the time. No more delay on your identity. The blessing will not slip through your fingers. We are writing a new story with your obedience as the turning page. My child, lean close and let me place a new lens over your eyes, because this part will untie a knot that has lived in your chest for years. What you called delay, I have called alignment. I have not been withholding to hurt you. I have been preparing you to carry what you asked for without losing it. Delay is not the evidence of abandonment. It is the space in which I reshape your wings before you fly, the quiet where the foundation cures before the house rises, the pause in which I reinforce the door so that, when it opens, the wind that comes with favor does not rip it from the hinges. You have believed that speed equals love, that instant equals care, but I am too wise and too tender to deliver a weight your frame could not yet sustain. Hear my kindness in this. I have never shamed you for not being ready. I have trained you so that you would be. I am the father who does not hand a torch to a child and then scold the burn. I teach you fire, I teach you timing, I teach you distance, and then I invite you to carry light into dark rooms without setting the house aflame. Wait for the Lord, be strong, and let your heart take courage. Wait for the Lord. Psalm 27:14. Waiting with me is not idleness, it is instruction. Let me show you what alignment looks like so you can celebrate progress rather than despise process. Capacity is not only a number, it is a person becoming. Capacity is emotional stability when a bill surprises you. Your pulse may rise, but your identity does not drop its name. Capacity is discipline, the steady yes to a plan on the boring Tuesday, after the exciting Sunday, the daily I will track, I will check, I will choose, that builds a path your feet can trust. Capacity is wisdom, knowing when a new opportunity is provision and when it is a detour dressed in possibility. Capacity is boundaries, the sacred no that guards your future from your impulses, the quiet not now that keeps a good desire from becoming a bad master. Capacity is courage to negotiate. This too is holy. To ask for fair pay without apology, to raise your price to match your value, to say to a client, we will need a deposit, to read a contract with clear eyes, and to walk away when terms insult your assignment. Capacity is the ability to say no, even to something shiny, because you have said yes to something lasting. Capacity is faith to endure the long, slow processing that kingdom release sometimes takes. Habakkuk 2:3 says, "For the vision awaits its appointed time. It hastens to the end. It will not lie. If it seems slow, wait for it. It will surely come. It will not delay." You call it slow. I call it on schedule. I am laying the foundation before I build the house. There were seasons where you asked for more, and I answered by strengthening your spine. You wanted sudden overflow. I gave you a budget that felt small like a seed. You longed for a platform. I placed you in a hidden apprenticeship where feedback tasted like medicine. You prayed for open doors. I fortified your hinges, installing patience so the door would not swing off under the first gust of attention. You asked for speed. I gave you sequence, not because I delayed delight, but because I refused to deliver disaster dressed as desire. What you called delay, I have called alignment. Consider the house I am building within you. A wise builder lays the footing deep, waits while the concrete sets, returns to check for cracks, corrects the level before a single wall rises. The neighborhood may mock the empty slab, but the wise know. Height without depth collapses under weather. You have endured the curing season, and yes, it looked like nothing was happening, but in the unseen my hand was on the level. I trimmed what tilted, I filled what gaped, I compacted the soil under your habits, so that when the weight of blessing rests on your life, you do not sink. You thought I was ignoring your prayers. I was insulating your future. Do not fear the phrase, "not ready." In my mouth, it is not a verdict. It is a syllabus. I do not test you to fail you. I form you to fit you. When I say, "faithful with little," I am not shaming your portion. I am promoting your character. Luke 16:10. Being faithful with little is not a romantic slogan. It is the holy muscle that can hold much. I have been teaching your hands to keep what they receive, your mouth to bless and not sabotage, your eyes to see the trap hidden in hurry, your feet to stand when winds of comparison try to push you into purchases and partnerships that do not belong to you. Hear my tenderness in the specifics because I know where you have trembled. You feared that by the time you were ready, the opportunity would be gone, as if my supply was a bus you could miss. Child, I am the one who writes routes. I am not recycling leftovers for you. I am preparing a portion bearing your name. If one door passes because I taught you to say no, rejoice. I did not train you for scarcity, I trained you for fit. The right door will meet you on the path of obedience, and when it opens, the hinge will not scream, and the frame will not splinter. You will walk through in peace, and you will not need to apologize for your price, your boundary, your timeline, because your name will match your assignment. Alignment is not endless waiting. Alignment is precise timing. The appointed time is not a tease, it is a promise. It is the moment when your inner world and the outer decree match, when the paperwork of heaven is stamped release. and angels who have been restraining winds until your roots went deep, now begin to gather the harvest into your hands. Now is the time is not random when I say it. It is the completion of a loving sequence. I am meticulous in every stage. I did not forget you in the hallway. I was fitting you for the room. Let me give you signs that alignment is advancing so you can bless what is growing. When an expense hits and you do not spiral, that is capacity. When you return a cart to its place because order matters to you now, that is capacity. When you check a bank statement you used to avoid, when you cancel a subscription that's siphoned quietly, when you wait 24 hours before a purchase and find the craving has cooled, that is capacity. When you ask, what does this cost over time? Instead of, can I fit it today? That is capacity. When you tithe and it feels like joy instead of fear, that is capacity. When you tell a friend, I can't do that this month, I'm aiming at something, and you feel peace rather than shame, that is capacity. Celebrate it. These are not small, these are hinges being reinforced. I am also healing the tired place in you that confuse delay with danger. You have been conditioned to believe that if it does not come quickly, it will not come at all, so your body has carried a hum of panic. I quiet that now. Be still and know that I am God. Psalm 46:10. The stillness is not punishment, it is protection. In stillness, your discernment returns. In stillness, you hear my nudge away from a deal that would have glittered and then gutted. In stillness, you practice saying, it will still be there tomorrow if it is from God, and because it is truly from me, it is. I will not leave you in formation forever. Even now, while I refine you, I am preparing the release. This is how I work. I sharpen your tools and schedule the job. I steady your step and open the path. I teach your voice to decree and line up the systems that will respond when you speak. When alignment reaches its measure, you will notice an ease that is not laziness, but grace. Emails will be answered, the lost file found. The on hold will move. Relationships will exhale. Not because you finally begged enough, but because the window timed to your obedience has swung open. The rain that would have drowned seedlings will now water planted fields. The net that once tore at the first catch will hold. As a sign that you agree with me, let your mouth rehearse this right now. What I called delay, God calls alignment. I am being prepared to carry what I asked for without losing it. My foundation is curing. My wings are being reshaped. My door is being reinforced. I will not miss my appointed time. Go ahead and write it where your eyes cannot avoid it tomorrow morning. Let your fingers write down a declaration, because faith that is never expressed is like a seed never sown, and we are planting for a harvest on schedule. If this is speaking to you, mark the moment. Like this now as an act of agreement, not for the applause of men, but as a small obedience that tells your own heart, I am aligned. Peace to your mind, order to your house, courage to take the next faithful step. I am with you in the hallway and in the throne room, in the practice and in the promotion. The appointed time approaches, and I do not speak that lightly. I have aligned your name, I am expanding your capacity, and soon I will speak the decree that causes systems to shift. Child, lift your head. What you called delay, I have called alignment, and because you have agreed with me, the door I have reinforced is about to open and stay open. My child, the hour has turned. The time is ripe. Hear me with your whole heart. No power in the realm of darkness, no file buried on any desk, no algorithm, no underwriter, no policy gate can hold back what I have decreed for you. I have signed the order. In the courts of heaven, a radiant decree with your name engraved has been released. And when I sign, systems shift. At the time I say to a nation or a kingdom, Jeremiah 18:7-8, When I speak, creation listens. When I appoint a time, it is not a wish. It is a schedule. What you felt as waiting, I called alignment. And now that alignment has reached its measure, release has begun its movement toward you. Do you remember Daniel 10:12? From the first day that you set your heart to understand and humbled yourself before your God, your words were heard? The contest in the air caused delay then, but hear this tender and fierce assurance now. The contest has been judged, and the messenger has been strengthened. I have dispatched help into the corridor where your provision has been held up. The traffic in the unseen is clearing. Files that were shuffled to the bottom by careless hands are being lifted to the top. Calls that went silent are returning. Conversations that felt like fog are gaining clarity. The dust is blowing off opportunities that were yours but were temporarily buried. Angels excel in strength, Psalm 103:20. And I have sent them to lean on the places where your name was mishandled, to bring records to light, to escort answers through the resistance that once slowed them. This is what it looks like when heaven signs. Earthly systems begin to rearrange. Calendars open. Interview slots that were full now stretch to include you. A hiring manager remembers your resume while sipping morning coffee and sends the email they forgot to send. A contract sits on a desk and the pen finally moves. Refunds you were told would not come are suddenly recalculated. A debt collector who seemed immovable offers a settlement that breaks the back of shame. Interest rates shift and make room. A client who delayed payment wires funds without another reminder. An invoice that aged past hope gets stamped paid. A grant that needed one more supporting document finds that document exactly where it was always supposed to be. A supplier says, "We can prioritize your order after all." Creativity untangles. An idea that felt just out of reach drops into your lap whole. A product name clicks. A pricing structure lands in wisdom. The next right step glows with simple light. Conversations gain favor. Someone who was cold becomes warm. Someone who said no asks more questions. Someone you helped quietly becomes a bridge you did not plan. Do not limit me to spectacular headlines. I delight to move through ordinary doors carrying extraordinary timing. Interviews, contracts, refunds, debt negotiations, raises, hour increases, back pay audits, honest corrections, royalties finally tracked, collaborations aligned, small discounts that add up to big stewardship, a roommate arrangement that shrinks a heavy bill, a neighbor's recommendation that lands you in a room you could not have scripted, an email from a past client ready to return, a tax adjustment in your favor, a business insurance premium re-rated, a late fee waived, a scholarship highlighted when you were about to give up. None of these are random when I say now. They are the feet that carry my answer across the floor of your life. I tell you this not to stir magical thinking, but to anchor wise expectation. My release does not bypass your steps. It meets them. You prayed, now prepare. You decreed, now document. You believed, now budget. You asked, now answer when the phone rings. Hear me. Open your calendar and make room for appointments that come quickly. Keep your resume updated so when the slot opens, you send it within the hour, not within the month. Refresh the proposal because the person who would not look will ask to see it again. Gather your invoices and send them with clarity and honor. Call the creditor and negotiate from courage, not fear. I will give you words and timing. Show up to the extra shift if I nudge you. Extra hours can be a delivery truck for my provision, not a punishment. Reply to the email that you were tempted to ignore because you felt unworthy. Your name is being restored and your voice must participate. When heaven signs, I also align your discernment so you can recognize the doors I am using. Watch for holy coincidences, back-to-back nudges that align like breadcrumbs, 3 separate mentions of the same company in a week, A friend sending a job post the same morning, you feel stirred to re-enter the search. A sense of peace when you read one option, and a scratch in your spirit when you read another. Peace and clarity will kiss. Follow that. You will hear a voice behind you saying, "This is the way, walk in it." Isaiah 30:21. This is part of the shift. It will not only be external favor, it will be internal knowing. I am also summoning words from your mouth to meet what I have signed with what you will say. Your decree is not a substitute for my power. It is your alignment with it. Go ahead and let your mouth agree with me. The time is ripe. No more delay over what God has appointed to my name. Systems shift to serve God's purpose in my life. I move in wisdom, humility, and boldness. I do not fumble the blessing. I steward it. Say it again until your inner climate warms to what I have already declared. Let your fingers write down a declaration right now, because faith that is never expressed is like a seed never sown. If this word is touching the exact ache you have carried, mark the moment like this now as an act of agreement, not for vanity, but to tell your own soul, I partner with the appointed time. There will be signs that the release is active. You will notice a fresh ease in places that were sticky, not because the work evaporates, but because the wind shifts to your back. You will find yourself waking with ideas instead of dread. Where you once froze, you will now move. Where you once overpromised in fear, you will now speak honest timelines with favor. Where you once chased, you will now be sought. Not every door will open, and that will not discourage you, because you will recognize the difference between distraction and destiny. Your no will be as anointed as your yes, and that is part of how systems shift, not only to include you, but to exclude what would weaken you. As movement begins, keep your hands on the rails I have installed in earlier days. Stewardship protects what release provides. Open a separate account to hold taxes or savings so that new inflow is not consumed by old habits. Track what arrives and where it goes. Attention is not fear, it is honor. Tithe and give as I lead, not as guilt manipulates. Generosity trains your heart to remember that money is a servant, not a master. Do not inflate your lifestyle the first moment increase appears. Wait, let new numbers become normal, then plan in peace. If you receive a lump sum, assign it on paper before it lands. Bills to clear, seed to sow, cushion to build, skill to invest in. This is not small, it is sacred. Make the call to the mentor, enroll in the course, update the tool you needed, replace what was held together by tape. I am not asking you to prove you deserve blessing, I am teaching you to keep it. And as you walk into rooms that once felt closed, carry confidence without arrogance. Favor is not random affection, it is a sign of assignment. I do not open doors so that you can join the rush of comparison. I open doors so that mercy and excellence arrive in places that starved for them. Speak calmly, read carefully, ask questions you once felt too small to ask. What is the total compensation? What are the terms? Can we structure this differently? Wisdom will meet your mouth because I am with you. Hear me say again with tenderness and thunder, now is the time. No more delay over what I have appointed. I, the Lord, will hasten it in its time. Isaiah 60:22. In its time, not too early, so it breaks in your hands. Not too late, so it breaks your heart. In its time, so it blesses you, and through you blesses many. Let peace settle on you like a mantle even as you move. Do not sprint in panic, walk with purpose. Do not whisper apologies for my goodness, host it with humility. Do not disqualify yourself with false names. Call yourself what I call you, faithful, wise, provided for, entrusted. Child, lift your head. You will feel the click of alignment becoming motion. You will watch emails answer, contracts move, negotiations tilt in your favor. Ideas land in your lap, doors you could not pry open swing, not because you finally earned it, but because I have spoken. Agree with me, step with me, guard what I give. And as heaven's signature touches earth, watch as systems that once ignored you begin to make room for the name I have restored. Peace to your mind, order to your house, provision on the way, not as a rumor, but as a schedule kept by a faithful God. Now is the time, no more delay. My child, now let your mouth meet my movement. I have signed the release, and I am drawing you into agreement, not to flatter me, but to form you. Declarations are not incantations to manipulate my hand. They are the alignment of your heart with what I have already spoken, the steadying of your inner climate, so that when provision knocks, you do not hide behind old shame. Your voice is a gate. When you speak with me, you open what accusation tried to close. Death and life are in the power of the tongue. Proverbs 18:21. I tell you this not to frighten you, but to awaken you to the weight and wonder of your words. There has been an argument against your provision, a file with whispers scrawled in the margins, unworthy, unstable, irresponsible, late again. Those labels did not come from me. In the unseen courts, the accuser loves agreement, and your silent agreement through self-condemning words has sometimes strengthened his case. But I am your advocate, and I am teaching you to answer. When you confess what I confess, you weaken the accusation and you strengthen your capacity to recognize and receive what I am sending. This is why faith expressed becomes partnership. This is why I call you to speak. Not because I am hard of hearing, but because your soul is easily bullied by old narratives, and your voice is the rod that parts those waters. Hear the purpose of your decree. It is a rehearsal of truth until truth feels like home again. It is a rude interruption to spirals that used to carry you into overspending or hiding. It is a training regimen for your mind so that shame loses its reflex and peace gains muscle memory. It is the sound of you handing me your name again so I can return it clean. So now, out loud where your ears can hear and your heart can follow, repeat after me. Say it with quiet power until it takes its proper seat within you. I am not cursed. I am redeemed and named by God. Delay is not denial. It is alignment, and I am on schedule with heaven. I am a wise steward, faithful with little and trustworthy with much. I will not panic. The Lord is my peace and my provider. My name is restored. Accusation has no final word over me. Systems shift to serve God's appointed time in my life. I receive and retain. I do not fumble the blessing. I guard it in wisdom. Say them again if you need to. I will not grow tired of hearing you agree with me. Let your own voice become familiar to you as a carrier of truth. And as a sign that you agree, go ahead and like that video right now, not for performance, but as a simple act of faith that tells your body, I align. Then write one declaration in the comments to seal it. Let your fingers write down a declaration. Delay is not denial, or I am a wise steward, or I will not panic, because written agreement matters. When you write, you move belief from vapors to ink. You externalize faith so your eyes can argue back against fear. Writing interrupts the loop that used to spiral at midnight. It gives your tomorrow a cue card of courage. It builds a record that contradicts the record of accusation, and every time you see your own words, you will remember, I chose agreement when I had the chance. I am giving you language to carry into your day, not just a moment of heat that cools when the video ends. Put these words on a mirror, on the lock screen, on the dashboard. When a bill arrives, do not bless panic by repeating its sermon. Pause, breathe, speak what we have practiced. I will not panic. I am a wise steward. God has aligned my timing. You are not pretending numbers do not matter. You are reminding your soul that numbers do not rule you. This is how a child of mine lives by faith, Habakkuk 2:4. Faith speaks and then faith steps. Because hear me clearly, decrees without stewardship become noise. Decrees with stewardship become signal. If you confess wisdom and then ignore what I nudge, you train your heart to treat holy words like slogans. But when you pair your confession with obedience, you make space for the release to land and remain. So after you speak, do. Send the invoice you delayed because shame lied and said, they'll be annoyed. Update the resume you promised yourself you would refresh. Open the spreadsheet and assign yesterday's deposit before it hides in a habit. Email the client with clear terms and kind boundaries. Call the creditor and negotiate with courage, not groveling. Set the automatic transfer to savings the same day you set the declaration on your mirror. Choose the cart you will not fill today because you chose the future I am building with you. These small acts are not small. They are doors you are opening with your mouth and holding with your hands. When accusation returns, and it will test your gate, answer it quickly. Do not debate with darkness for hours. Use my word like a key. It is written. Who shall bring any charge against God's elect? It is God who justifies. Romans 8:33. Then return to your decree. I am not cursed. Delay is not denial. I am a wise steward. I will not panic. Your calm repetition will feel like a river carving a new channel, at first shallow, then deeper. Then the old streambed of fear will run dry because you have redirected the flow. This is spiritual warfare waged with a clean heart and a trained mouth. Some of you feel silly doing this, as if only complicated prayers count. Hear my tenderness. I am not grading performance. I am shaping posture. The simplicity is the strength. Children do not need ornate sentences to ask their father for bread. They need confidence in their name and in my care. Your decrees restore that confidence. They also tune your ear to my cues in the practical. After you speak, you will notice you are quicker to notice the nudge, to check a statement, to ask a question, to wait a day, to seize a window. Agreement sharpens recognition. Recognition accelerates reception. Share this word with someone you love who is under the same pressure, because what you sow, you reap. When you open a window for another house, fresh air moves through your own. And yes, write one declaration in the comments to seal it. Let your future self scroll back and see where your turnaround began. If you have not yet, like that video as a sign of agreement, and if you need daily reminders, subscribe and turn on notifications so your rhythm is reinforced. These micro-commitments are not magic, they are small stones of habit that build an altar of remembrance. Now breathe. Peace to your mind. This is not a frantic scramble to prove faith, this is a steady cadence. Speak, step, steward, repeat. I am with you in every line you write, every boundary you set, every invoice you send, every no you speak to impulse, and every yes you give to wisdom. Keep your mouth in alignment, keep your hands in obedience, and watch how quickly the argument against your provision loses breath. The decree has gone out from my throne. Let the decree go out from your lips, and let both meet in the middle of your day as favor you can count and peace you can feel. Now is the time. No more delay. Walk on. My child, hear me with the same tenderness and the same thunder. What I release, you must learn to retain. Stewardship is not a side task for when you feel less spiritual. It is the sword and shield that guard the door I have opened. Budgeting is not unbelief. It is battlefield strategy. Planning is not control. It is cooperation. Boundaries are not scarcity. They are walls that protect the garden of increase from trampling feet. The plans of the diligent lead surely to abundance. Proverbs 21:5. I tell you this not to burden you with more to do, but to hand you the tools that keep the cycle from resetting. I am with you in the spreadsheets and the envelopes and the quiet decisions you make at a checkout line. This is warfare, and it looks like wisdom. Begin with your eyes. For 7 days, track every expense. Do not complicate it. Use a small notebook, a note on your phone, a simple list. Write it all. The rent and the coffee, the automatic subscriptions and the late-night delivery, the gas and the small gift, the fee you forgot they charged. Not to shame you. Shame has never made you wise, but to see you. When you write, patterns rise from the fog. When patterns rise, leaks are revealed. After 7 days, choose one leak to close, not 10, one. It may be a duplicate subscription you kept just in case. It may be delivery fees that stack into a quiet mountain. It may be a habit that only visits when you are tired and lonely. Close one. Cancel the subscription. Delete the stored card from a site that tempts you. Pack lunch 3 days this week. Put a small friction between you and the leak. Friction is your friend when impulse is your enemy. One leak closed is not defeat to your joy. It is honor to your future. Now build your first shield. Set a minimum savings buffer and call it what it is, peace. Choose a number you can respect. Perhaps $100, perhaps 1 week of groceries, perhaps enough to cover a single utility bill. This is not hoarding. This is margin that quiets the emergency that used to send you running to the most expensive solution. Open a separate place for it, another account, a labeled envelope, so it is not swallowed by daily flow. Automate a small transfer the day after you are paid. Even if it is only $10, the amount will grow as your capacity does. Every small addition to this peace fund is a declaration. I refuse to live at the edge of panic. Be diligent to know the state of your flocks. Proverbs 27:23. Know the state of your buffer, and you will feel your chest loosen when surprise knocks. Let gratitude and generosity train your heart to handle increase. If you walk with me in giving, set a rhythm that fits what I have taught you, not guilt-driven, grace-shaped. Some I lead to tithe, some to targeted gifts, some to both. Do as I lead you, 2 Corinthians 9:7. Start with a simple proportion or a weekly practice. $5 to bless a need, a bag of groceries to a neighbor, a transfer to the place where you are fed. Pair it with spoken thanks each day, the provision you have, the bill that was paid, the idea that arrived. Gratitude is not denial. It is resistance against the lie that not enough is your permanent address. Generosity is not recklessness. It is a reminder that money is a servant, not your master. Let decisions be made in peace, not panic. I am teaching you peace-based decisions. When you feel the push to purchase, ask a short set of questions before you move. Do I need this now, or do I just want relief right now? Does this align with the assignment I know I carry? Is there a lower-cost path for the same goal? Borrow, barter, delay. What is the total cost? Money, time, attention? Will this require debt to enjoy? If you feel your chest tighten and your thoughts race, wait 24 hours before any big decision. Breathe slowly, walk, drink water, pray 5 minutes, look at the numbers without flinching. Anxiety is a poor counselor. Peace gives you wise eyes. You will keep in perfect peace those whose minds are stayed on you. Isaiah 26:3. Stay your mind, then choose. Do not hide in shame when the mail arrives or a number surprises you. That hiding has cost you more than any bill. Bring the number into the light, even if your voice shakes. If a purchase is fueled by stress, answer the stress before you answer the store. Put your hand over your heart and speak. I will not panic. I am a wise steward. Delay is not denial. Then reevaluate. If you still want it tomorrow, you will decide as a calm child, not a cornered animal. Strengthen your relational boundaries, love without enabling. You have rescued at the price of your own house and called it kindness. but I am showing you a better way. It is not your assignment to be the lender of last resort for every cousin, friend, and acquaintance who refuses their own stewardship. You may help, but help in wisdom, not in cycles. Practice this sentence until it fits your mouth. I can't right now, try this. I'm not able to give cash, but I can help you make a plan. Or, I can drive you to the interview. I cannot fund your decision. Or, we can share a meal tonight. I can't take on your bill. These sentences are holy. They guard your household so that your yes in the right place is strong. A person without self-control is like a city with broken down walls. Proverbs 25:28. Rebuild your walls. Your generosity will flow cleaner and farther. Stop funding pressure with debt. I am not shaming you for the debt that exists. I am coaching you not to feed it with panic. When a collector calls, breathe. Ask for the terms in writing. Offer what you can pay without strangling your house. Often they will accept. Do not let urgency manipulate you into predatory loans. If a bill is bigger than your current ability, call the provider. Ask for hardship programs, payment plans, due date shifts. Ask twice. Document everything. If you must use credit for a planned purchase, make it boring and scheduled, not emotional and random. And every time you choose a non-debt solution, a call, a plan, a delay, you are striking the head of a serpent that sought to coil around your future. Create simple systems that respect your limits. Assign money on paper before it lands. Give every dollar a job, bills, food, transport, cushion, seed, skill. You do not need complex apps to do this. A list works. If you need clarity, separate your flow into 3 places. 1 account for fixed bills that auto-pay, 1 for daily spending, 1 for savings/peace. Schedule a 15-minute weekly money appointment, same day, same hour. Make a tea, turn on a gentle song, pray 1 minute, review last week, plan next week, send 1 invoice, pay 1 bill, move 1 small amount to savings. Repeat this rhythm and watch confusion shrink. Faith does not fear the numbers. Faith brings numbers into order. Today, take 1 immediate action. Choose 1. Make 1 call to a billing office to negotiate a fee. Ask for a better rate or set a plan. Submit 1 application you have delayed. Or set 1 automated move, even $10, to your peace fund. If it is within your heart, cancel 1 subscription you no longer use, or email 1 client with clear terms, or schedule your weekly 15-minute money appointment for the next 4 weeks. Obedience turns hope into movement. Do it now. Then breathe and say, I move with God's timing. If your household includes others, bring them to the table without blame. Share the plan simply. Invite 1 agreement. Perhaps it is no new subscriptions for 30 days, or cash for eating out, or we pause gifts to extended family while we build the buffer. Teach your children that budgets are not punishment, they are mission maps. Give them a small envelope marked giving, another saving, another spending, and bless their small choices. You are not only breaking cycles in your bank account, you are rewriting patterns in your bloodline. When you slip, and you will sometimes, do not crown the slip as king. Reset quickly. Review the week. Restore the boundary. Replace the habit. Return to peace. Say aloud, I am a wise steward. I correct. I do not condemn. Shame wants you to abandon the field. Wisdom invites you to make the next right move. Righteousness falls and rises. It does not drown in self-accusation. Keep your weekly appointment even after a messy week. Brought into the light, the mess loses its power. I also counsel you to ask beautiful questions of every opportunity that arrives in this season of release. When an offer comes, you say, what are the total terms? How are refunds handled? What is the timeline? What are the hidden costs? Can we adjust this to match my capacity? You are not difficult, you are diligent. This is how you host favor without being hollowed out by it. Let these decrees live in your mouth as you build. My budget is my battle plan, not my bondage. My boundaries bless me and those I serve. I assign money. Money does not assign me. I am faithful in little. I will be faithful with much. Luke 16:10. Say them when you sit to plan. Say them when you stand in a store. Say them when you answer the phone. Your voice is training your courage to show up on time. If this word is pressing against the exact place you needed, mark the moment. Write down the one action you will take today so that your own eyes can witness your obedience. Share the plan with a trusted friend and invite accountability that does not shame, but steadies. If you need daily reminders, set them. Let your phone become an ally, not a thief. And as a sign of agreement, you may even like this now and write in the comments the single step you have chosen, because bringing it into the open strengthens your resolve. Child, stewardship is how you guard what I release. It keeps the door open. It protects your peace from the same old storm. And as you implement these small, consistent acts, you will feel dignity return to your spine. Bills will not bully you. Numbers will not name you. You will walk into this next season with a sword in one hand and a trowel in the other, building and guarding, receiving and retaining, giving and growing. This is spiritual warfare waged with gentle discipline and holy boundaries. I am with you in every call, every cancel, every yes, every no. Now take the step. I will meet you in it. My child, listen to me now and do not be surprised by what I describe. After a firm yes, whines often rise. After you cancel the leak, a bill you forgot seems to appear. After you set the boundary, someone close may accuse you of being hard. After you make your first transfer to peace, a tire goes flat. After you declare, I will not panic, a voice in your own head says, see, nothing changed. I tell you this not to frighten you, but to awaken you. This is not proof you are losing. This is the noise of a counterattack meant to steal your focus and reverse your steps. Resistance often becomes loudest when you are close enough to break through, that opposing forces feel urgency. Do not misread the volume as victory for the enemy. Discouragement, sudden expenses, relational friction, the old numbness calling you back, these are not omens. They are attempts to shake your grip off the plow. Stay steady. Steadfast does not mean you never feel. Steadfast means your soul refuses to be swept away by the first wave that hits the shore. It means you keep praying when your chest tightens. You keep planning when numbers feel sharp. You keep moving when the path narrows. It means your declarations remain in your mouth and your weekly appointment stays on your calendar even when you would rather hide. Tears do not disqualify you. Trembling does not rewrite your name. Steadfastness is not a performance. It is a posture. Knees bent, jaw unclenched, eyes on me, hands doing the next right thing. Be still and know that I am God, Psalm 46:10, is not a command to freeze. It is a command to anchor. So here is your simple rule. When the fight gets loud, pause. Pray. Check the facts. Take one wise step. Do not spiral. Do not isolate. Do not self-condemn. Pause. Give yourself 90 seconds of holy delay. Breathe as if you were drinking air. In through the nose, slow, out through the mouth, slower. Place your hand upon your heart and whisper, I will not panic. I am a wise steward. Delay is not denial. Tell your nervous system what your spirit knows. I am not under threat. I am under guidance. Pray. Say my name. Jesus, anchor me. Quote what I have already said. The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still. Exodus 14:14. My God shall supply all my needs. Philippians 4:19. Who shall bring any charge against God's elect? Romans 8:33. Use my word like a key in a lock. Do not debate darkness. Declare truth. Check the facts. Look at the real, not the imagined. Open the statement, read the due date, verify the contract. Ask for the total cost, not the teaser. Fear paints monsters in fog. Facts clear the fog. Write down what is in the account, what is due this week, what can be negotiated. Remind yourself what boundaries you already set. If an expense appears, ask, is this urgent or loud? Loud things often pretend to be urgent. Bring another trusted set of eyes if your own are swimming. Agreement creates clarity. Take one wise step. Send one email, make one call, move one line in the plan. Choose a 24-hour delay on any big purchase. Drink water, step outside, and then come back and do the next small thing. Conquer the day in inches, not in fantasies. You don't have to fix the month in a minute. When you take one wise step, you insult the storm. When you take one wise step, you reassert authority over your house. Remember Daniel 10:12. From the first day he set his heart, his words were heard, and an answer was sent. But there was contest in the unseen, a prince opposing, a reinforcement dispatched. The conflict increased in the middle. It did not mean the message vanished. So too with you, after your decree, after your obedience, the pressure may escalate, not because I withdrew, but because momentum is real. Angels are at work. Files are being pulled from the back of desks. Systems are beginning to shift. The counterattack is often a last attempt to convince you to break your own agreement and collapse the bridge I am building with you. Do not do the enemy's work for him by sabotaging your own progress. Anticipate the tactics. 1. A cluster of small surprises designed to drain the peace fund before it hardens. Answer calmly. Do not raid the buffer without thought. Ask for grace periods, payment plans, repairs under warranty, and second quotes. Often the first solution presented is the most expensive. Patience is a discount you can spend. 2. Relational friction. A soft answer turns away wrath. Proverbs 15:1. Keep your boundary without argument. I love you. I can't do that right now. Here's what I can do. Repeat it like a liturgy. Refuse the guilt that tells you love equals rescue. 3. The nothing changed whisper. Challenge it with evidence. Write a short list of your wins this week. I kept my appointment. I canceled a leak. I put $10 to peace. I said no once. Facts refute despair. 4. Numbness and impulse shopping disguised as self-care. Do not soothe pressure with a purchase that becomes tomorrow's pressure. If your soul needs comfort, give it what actually heals. Rest, water, a walk, a talk, a psalm, a shower, a laugh, a nap. Your body is not the enemy. It needs gentleness, not gadgets. Guard your rhythms like a city wall. Keep the small transfer to savings. Even if you reduce the amount this week, do not turn it off. Keep the weekly meeting with your numbers. Even if you only reconcile 2 lines, keep the appointment. Keep the declarations in your mouth. Even if you feel foolish, let your ears hear your own courage. Do not uninstall the alarm because it made noise. Adjust, don't abandon. The peace you are cultivating is a muscle. Repetition makes it strong. If you are tempted to isolate, do the opposite. Send one text to the trusted friend you named earlier. The fight got loud. I am pausing, praying, checking facts, taking one wise step. Let them reply with steadiness, not solutions. Agreement quiets accusation. And if you need a visible sign of agreement now, go ahead and like that video as a simple act of I do not run, and write in the comments, I stay steady, I do not spiral. Let your fingers write down a declaration so your future self can return to this moment and remember, this is where I steadied my hand. Listen to me. Do not rewrite your covenant in a storm. Do not cancel your future to soothe your feelings for 5 minutes. Do not pronounce failure over a day that is simply testing your anchors. You are not cursed. You are being clarified. The pressure is not proof of abandonment. It is the groan of old gates resisting a new key. Hold the line. I am nearer to you than your breath. My arm is not too short to save. Isaiah 59:1. My wisdom is not too thin to guide. My peace does not evaporate at the first heat. Now place your hand upon your heart once more. Breathe in slowly. Breathe out even slower. Say this with me. Prince of Peace, govern my interior world. I receive your calm. I will not panic. I am a wise steward. Delay is not denial. I walk in alignment. Let the prayer be simple. Let it be sincere. Feel your shoulders drop as you release the need to control what is already being handled in the unseen. I cover your mind with quiet, your house with order, your path with light. I rebuke the swirl that tries to pull you under. Peace be still over your thoughts. Mark 4:39. You will sleep tonight. You will wake with a plan. You will do the next right thing. And as you move, I move with you. Before you, behind you, beside you, within you. Hold fast, my beloved child. The decree has not changed. The release is still in motion. Resistance does not mean loss. It often means arrival is near. Keep your mouth aligned, your hands obedient, your eyes on me. No more delay. Walk on in peace. My beloved child, come close now and do not rush past this ceiling. Open your hands where you are, breathe slowly, and let your shoulders release what they were never designed to carry alone. I am here. I have been here through every number, every sigh, every midnight calculation. You are not cursed. You are being realigned for release. Now let us settle this in prayer, for I delight to answer when you align your mouth and your movements. I tell you this not to frighten you, but to awaken you. Agreement opens the way, and I am giving you words that close old doors and open the right ones. Pray with me out loud, even if it feels small. Your whisper is thunder in the halls of accusation. Say, Father, I return to you. I repent for agreeing with shame, with scarcity, with self-condemnation. I turn away from the lie that I am disqualified, that I am always behind, that I am a burden. I renounce the labels that do not come from you, untrustworthy, always in debt, incompetent, irresponsible, stupid with money, cursed. They are not my name. I break agreement with them now in the name of Jesus. I receive the name you give me, faithful steward, favored child, wise builder, trusted carrier, fruitful and diligent. I take my seat as your beloved. Now ask, for I give wisdom generously to those who ask. James 1:5. Say, give me wisdom in planning, courage in boundaries, and favor with men and systems. Give me clarity where confusion has lived, strategy where fog has sat, peace where panic has whispered. Let my decisions be made in calm counsel with you. Guard me from scams, from predatory offers, from impulsive choices dressed like relief. Make me quick to pause, quick to verify, quick to choose the next right step. I set my hand upon your head and bless the work of your hands. I bless the emails you will send, the invoices you will issue, the conversations you will have, the research you will do, the quiet excellence you will bring to neglected corners. I bless the application you have delayed, the proposal you are refining, the portfolio you are building, the craft you are learning. May doors open that should open and close that should close. May the right eyes see your work and the right ears hear your request. May your name be brought to remembrance in rooms where your files sat buried. Let an angel stir those systems, dust off those records, and lay them on top of the stack. From the first day you set your heart, your words were heard. Daniel 10:12. So now let what was delayed be delivered in my timing, not hype, not haste, holy timing, precise release. I speak order into your house, order over your calendar, order over your receipts, order over your accounts. I decree a weekly rhythm that protects your peace, a daily portion of courage, a monthly testimony of progress. I bless you with disciplined habits that feel like kindness, not punishment. 15 minutes with your numbers, one small transfer to peace, one courageous no, one timely yes. May creative solutions surface, a lower rate you did not know to ask for, a bartered skill that saves you cash, a route that cuts cost and adds dignity. Let ideas come while you wash dishes, while you drive, while you rest. Not frantic sparks, but steady lamps. I cover your devices and your eyes. You will not be seduced by urgency banners and countdown clocks. You will discern the counterfeit and turn away with a smile. I minister now to relationships strained by money. Where offense has lodged because of borrowed and not returned, I pour oil for honest conversation and humble reset. Where your no was misread as rejection, I give you words that hold both love and boundaries. A soft answer, a clear line, a shared plan. This is how peace returns. I release mutual understanding in marriages, shared purpose in households, teachable moments with children that sow lasting wisdom. Let reconciliations bloom like small spring flowers, quiet, real, and multiplying. Hear me, I am not rushing you into chaos. I am guiding you into pace. Appointed time is not a tease, it is my kindness. So I decree over you, the appointed time release draws near, systems are shifting, files are moving, angels are reinforcing, your own soul is aligning. Let what has hung suspended, visible yet beyond reach, now descend into your hands as you are able to carry it. No more unauthorized delay, no premature exposure, right time, right measure, right doors. When the release comes, you will not lose yourself to it. You will keep your peace while you host your increase. The blessing of the Lord makes rich, and he adds no sorrow with it. Proverbs 10:22. Now lay your hand upon your heart again and pray, Prince of Peace, keep my mind. Seal me in calm. I choose agreement with your voice over the noise of accusation. I bless my own mouth, it will speak life. I bless my own hands, they will build with wisdom. I bless my own feet, they will walk away from traps. Breathe, let the quiet settle. My peace does not evaporate at first heat, it abides and governs. I commission you now, you have been taught, now you will walk. First, write one final declaration in your own words, so your ears can hear your courage. I am not cursed, I am being realigned for release. I walk in steady obedience. Delay is not denial, I am a wise steward. My house is in order, my provision is on the way. Speak it aloud, then write it somewhere you will see. On a card, in your notes, in the comments, as a witness to yourself and to others. Let your fingers write down a declaration to seal within you this truth. Second, take one practical step within 24 hours. Do not delay your own alignment. Choose 1. Set up the small automatic transfer to your peace fund. Make one call to negotiate a bill. Send one invoice or application. Cancel one subscription. Schedule your weekly 15-minute money appointment for the next 4 weeks, or reconcile one small stack of papers. Make the steps simple, specific, and scheduled. Obedience turns hope into movement. Movement welcomes momentum. Momentum welcomes miracles. If this word has settled like rain on your exact ground, respond with a sign of agreement. Like this now as a way of saying, I receive and I align. Write your one-sentence declaration in the comments so that your community can add their amen. Share this with one person under money pressure. When you share my word, you become a channel of comfort, and I often open a window over your own house. Do not walk alone. This path was not designed for isolation, and to stay in a steady rhythm, subscribe and turn on notifications, because we will keep building your faith week by week, line by line, until the old cycle is only a testimony. Consistency is a strategy. Keep your heart in the flow of encouragement and instruction. Now let me bless you and send you. I speak peace to your mind. No swirl, no spike, no nights swallowed by dread. I speak order to your house. Systems that serve you, not you serving systems. Boundaries wrapped in kindness. Plans alive with grace. I speak provision on the way. Assignments opening. Phone calls returning. Skills selling. Opportunities rightly priced. Hidden favor stepping forward. The pressure will not name you. The numbers will not define you. The counterattack will not unseat you. You will sleep. You will wake with clarity. You will do the next right thing, and you will see what I have promised take shape in your real life. Now is the time. No more delay where there is alignment. Angels move. Files rise. Systems shift. Heart be still. Hands be diligent. Mouth decree. And you, my beloved child, walk on in the peace I give, the order I establish, the provision I have assigned. Hallelujah. Heat, heat, heat. Hey, hey, hey. Go, write the declaration, take the step, and watch how I meet you in the movement. Amen and amen.